Hey all, Kate here from Number Minecraft. Welcome back to another review. And today I'm reviewing episode 5 of Netflix's Devil May Cry anime. Now in this episode, a decent amount of things happen along with getting some, or not some, but a bit more information about the secondary protagonist Mary, or Mary Arkham, which again I just want to mention how badass the last name Arkham is, I'm just saying. But yeah, obviously this episode continues off from the ending of episode 4, and in this episode, Dante finally unlocks his demon form, which looks pretty freaking sick, I will say that, and he is able to, like, save everyone who was with him, and actually, funny enough, one of the characters actually does basically make an Iron Man 3 reference, because if you ever watch Iron Man 3, you would know there was, like, a scene where, like, a airplane was exploded and like people were like falling out and like they possibly would have fallen to their death, but then Iron Man like saved everyone. And it wasn't like a direct reference, but it was like a reference to like the line was essentially like, why could you not been one of those more powerful superheroes with a suit of armor or something like that. Look, I'm not 100% saying it's a reference to that, but I feel like it could be a reference to that. I'm just saying. But yeah, Dante's demon form, pretty freaking cool to look at. And also, this episode gives us a remix of Devil Trigger, which is one of the greatest songs to come out of DMC. The only problem is you can barely hear it, which is a real shame, because when you can hear it, it's actually pretty good. But no, you can't. You can barely hear it in this episode, which is a real shame. Also, in this episode, we get some sort of not really a conclusion, but we get more progress towards Mary going through her little arc of her realizing that, okay, maybe not all these demons are the enemy. And these are like two parts. There's one scene where like she finds this lab that has like some friendly demons that have been experimented on, and then there's this other scene that is like somewhat near the end of the episode where she commands what's left of her squad to take the friendly demons in and like to escort them to somewhere safer. I would like to say that this lasts, but sadly, this doesn't really last, and I'll get to that. But also, speaking of Mary, we also discovered that her father became a demon and then killed her mother. Now, okay, obviously, story points like this, they're not the most original, because there are a decent amount of shows and animations, specifically anime, where, like, there is some character that's like, oh, my parental figure became a monster and killed my other parental figure, or something like that. It's not the most original, but again, that's not really supposed to be a complaint. But yeah. Also, another thing is that a decent amount of demons, including some of the new powerful ones that were introduced in episode 3, end up dying here. The snake plant lady ends up dying. The blue shape-shifting demon who was introduced in episode 1 ends up dying. He actually sacrifices himself, but I'll get to that later. And sadly, the friendly demons that were escorted are also killed off, because once the vice president hears about this, he immediately commands Mary's, or what's left of Mary's squad, to just kill them all. And they do so. And the thing is, like, okay, obviously this takes place near the end of the episode. We see the shape-shifting demon who, like, is in the form of, like, one of her squad mates, or one of Mary's squad mates. Like, he sees all of this, and we see that he's, like, absolutely horrified about it. Because again, like, you see, like, the friendly demon refugees, and you think, oh, they're going to survive, they're going to make it. But no, they just get killed off, and, like, we see that, like, the shape-shifting demon, like, he's absolutely horrified about all this, and, like, the last thing he does is he ends up, like, sacrificing himself and, like, blowing up the building, which kills any of the Dark Calm members inside, and himself as well. So, yeah, honestly, yeah, because again, I was also expecting that, oh, the friendly refugee demons, they're going to make it alive out of this episode, but no, they don't, they get killed off, so Yeah. And this episode kind of ends on the cliffhanger because it's like, oh, what's going to happen between Mary and the vice president? Is she going to be let go from the organization she's been working with for most of her life? Who knows? But yeah. Honestly, quite enjoyed this episode. So yeah. So I give this episode 6 out of 7 stars. So, anyways, that was it for this review. Make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye!
Traveling through the universe, the galaxy, in a distant world. We're here today. Look to the stars and we